You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Loki MCU moments.
Enough! I've never met this man in my life.
He's my brother.
Adopted.
For this list, we're looking at instances where the God of Mischief stole the show in the MCU. So pretty much whenever he was on screen. With almost a decade's worth of storylines to cover, we have to give a spoiler alert. What's your favorite Loki moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Loki learns the truth. Thor. Even if you weren't well-versed in the comics or Norse mythology, Loki's villainous turn in the first Thor movie didn't surprise many. What did catch some outsiders off guard is how tragic Loki's backstory is. Going through an identity crisis, Loki confronts his father and the truth.
What more than that?
Following the Battle of Jotunheim, Odin discovered King Laufey's infant son. Changing the little frost giant's appearance, Odin raised the child as his own. Loki was, of course, that baby.
You were an innocent child.
No. You took me for a purpose. What was it?
The reveal encompasses the epic scale and Shakespearean tragedy we would expect from director Kenneth Branagh, as Loki realizes that he's been denied his birthright, heritage, and the truth. Odin's sudden descent into slumber doesn't soften the blow, as Loki takes what he feels is rightfully his.
Gods! Gods, please help!
Number 9. Loki takes the Tesseract. Avengers Endgame. On paper, bringing Loki back through time travel following his fate in Infinity War might sound kinda cheap. It's all about execution though, and the MCU pulled off Loki's comeback flawlessly. During the time heist, everything is going according to plan, until 2012 Hulk shows 2023 Tony the door. An escape route is served to the captive Loki on a silver platter as the Tesseract is sent sliding to his feet. While confused, Loki doesn't think twice about picking the cube up and disappearing into the unknown. This was a gripping hook for the Loki series, which finds him in the Gobi Desert before being taken to the TVA. Loki may be a god, but there's no greater power in this universe than bureaucracy.
Is this the greatest power in the universe?
Number 8. Kneel before Loki. The Avengers. With some iridium, his scepter, and an oversized helmet that only he could pull off, Loki has everything required to make the people of Earth kneel.
I said...
In a film full of heroic moments, one of the most underrated finds an elderly German man refusing to submit to Loki as the rest of the crowd trembles. Given the man's age and heritage, it's safe to say that he's encountered even worse monsters. Loki nearly makes an example out of him before he's given a taste of Cap's shield.
Let him be an example.
Natasha provides Rogers with backup, but it isn't until Iron Man blasts onto the scene that Loki finally surrenders. Being the God of Mischief, though, his capture is all a part of his grand scheme.
Good move.
Number 7. Frigga's death. Thor: The Dark World. The Dark World isn't among the better MCU movies, or even the better Thor movies. It is one of Loki's best showcases, however. Aside from getting the funniest one-liners, Loki undergoes the most engaging emotional journey. Nowhere is this more apparent than when Frigga dies.
I believe you.
Although Loki essentially disowned his adoptive family, he always maintained a soft spot for his maternal figure. Even after everything he did, Frigga cared for Loki unconditionally. Her death pushes Loki to the edge, especially since his reckless actions contributed to this loss. When a desperate Thor turns to Loki for help, there's still bad blood between the brothers. They may not trust each other, but their truce is fueled by their mutual love for Frigga and rage.
When do we start?
Number 6. The Sakaran Rebellion. Thor Ragnarok. Ragnarok sees Loki officially make the leap from villain to anti-hero, with the Sakaran Rebellion marking one of his most significant turning points. The climax throws everything at us, including a giant wolf and the Hulk. guess Loki is the kitchen sink in this case, as he crashes the battle with the gladiators for a last-minute rescue. Loki knows how to make an entrance, and he does not disappoint here. Emerging from the shadows aboard a ship while proclaiming himself as Asgard's savior, Loki's arrival couldn't be more on brand.
Your savior is here!
At the same time, Loki's newfound heroic side shines through as he joins in the glorious final battle, accepting his place as an Asgardian and Thor's brother. Loki's redemption arc comes to a satisfying climax.
You're late. You're missing an eye.
Number 5. Unleashing the Multiverse. Loki. Many suspected that the first season of Loki would pave the way for the multiverse.
I have been waiting for this moment my entire life. I just need a second to get my head straight, okay?
Sure. Of course.
The season also took us to plenty of unexpected places, especially when it came to Loki's relationship with female variant Sylvie. As similar as these two can be, we see how different they are when He Who Remains gives them a choice that could forever alter the sacred timeline. Sylvie puts her revenge above all else, while Loki expresses what he wants most of all. What ensues is the show's most romantic moment thus far, followed by one of the most heartbreaking. Sending Loki away, Sylvie does what she came to do. Whatever happens next, nothing will ever be the same for Loki, Sylvie, or the rest of the multiverse. Number 4. Puny God, the Avengers. Big God in a shiny helmet. Take that off, where are you? Well, a puny god, that's what. Loki's ego is taken down a peg when Hawkeye's exploding arrow sends him spiraling into a fight against the Hulk. We suppose calling it a fight might be generous, as Loki only gets in a few pretentious words before the Hulk starts smashing him around like a rag doll.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
It's anticlimactic in the best way. But the joke doesn't end there. After seemingly finding a safe haven, Loki is horrified to learn that Hulk is also on Sakaar.
I have to get off this planet.
Of all the Avengers, Hulk clearly left Loki with the most scars. Instead of a rematch, though, Hulk gives Thor a taste of how it feels, much to Loki's amusement.
That's how it feels!
I'm just a huge fan of the sport.
Number 3. Loki as Odin. Thor Ragnarok. After seemingly sacrificing himself while fending off Algrim, Loki slivers into his father's place as the ruler of Asgard. Even if you saw this twist coming, seeing Loki on the throne surely had you grinning with him.
No. Thank you.
Upon returning home, Thor can immediately sense that something is off. Asgard doesn't look nearly as disastrous under Loki's control as one would expect. However, it is draped in Loki's massive ego, from the towering statue in his honor to a play that takes some hilarious creative liberties. In a testament to what a phenomenal actor Anthony Hopkins is, he couldn't be more convincing as Loki playing Odin.
Father?
Oh shit.
Loki may have Asgard fooled, but Thor sees right through his brother's disguise, forcing him to come clean.
All right, I yield!
2. Loki's last stand, kind of. Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War opens with a few memorable callbacks.
We have a Hulk.
But our favorite is Loki telling Thanos that his team has a Hulk. To the shock of Loki and everyone else, the fight between Hulk and Thanos is relatively short. Since Hulk wiped the floor with Loki, the God of Mischief doesn't stand a chance against the Mad Titan. Regardless, Loki is ready to die trying to save his brother rather than betray him again. It shows how far Loki has come, although his selfless deed doesn't end in triumph. Loki's demise is among the MCU's most brutal moments, setting a tone for the emotional roller coaster that is Infinity War. The only thing sadder than watching Loki die? Watching Loki from an alternate timeline watch Loki die. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Coulson's death. The Avengers. This is where rooting for Loki gets tricky. Loki as Cap. Thor: The Dark World. Okay, all is forgiven, Loki.
Hey, want to have a rousing discussion about truth, honor, patriotism? God bless them.
Falling for 30 minutes. Thor Ragnarok. Now, that's a half hour we want to see.
I have been falling for 30 minutes!
Get help. Thor Ragnarok. A brotherly bond shines through.
Get help! Please! My brother's dying! Get help! Help him! Oh, classic.
Loki's love life. Loki. Sylvie and the City.
How about you? You're a prince. Must have been would-be princesses. Or perhaps another prince.
A bit of both.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Loki Brawl. Loki. Sylvie is far from the only variant that Loki crosses paths with throughout his eponymous series. In one of the many moments that had the internet buzzing, Loki arrives in the Void, where he meets Classic Loki, Kid Loki, Boastful Loki, and Alligator Loki, the latter of whom probably would have dominated this list had it gotten more screen time. The Loki party doesn't end there, as he's soon confronted by a presidential counterpart and his army.
Which one of us are you?
It shouldn't come as a surprise that all Lokis have traitorous tendencies. We weren't prepared to see Alligator Loki bite off President Loki's hand, however. Between Hulk and Alligator Loki, he really needs to stop underestimating green creatures. The ensuing fight is all the Loki we could ask for. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.